pour some digital courage in your cup, yeah. If you need some encouragement, we got some. It's gonna overflow to you, yeah. From our mouth to your ears. It's a happy half hour.
Happy half hour.
Woo! All right. Whoa.
Yeah, pouring some digital courage.
Rock and roll.
I like it, Joe, because you're happy you
is your best you, baby.
Yes, it is. And so we're here to help you be your best you. Welcome to Happy Half Hour. It is the 4th of July Eve. Joe, the big holidays, Christmas, New Year's, they get, the eves put on. I think we should put eves on all of our holidays. All of our holidays should have an eve in there to help us get ready for the holiday, to make it a 2-day thing. And when you're talking about freedom, and listen, if you're coming from somewhere else around the world, you're not American or you don't live in America, and you're like, well, I'm not going to pay attention to this. No, freedom is for everybody. We just happen to mention freedom here, and we're not even going to talk about not necessarily American freedom. We're just going to talk about freedom, period, which is what the 4th of July really is about here, in America. So if you love freedom, and I think we all do, right? And freedom is a mindset, just like happy is. It's an inside job. You can be free. Like Nelson Mandela said, I wrote it down. It was really good. He said, "For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." So freedom, it's a lifestyle. All right, I'll say it again.
Really good.
Nelson Mandela said, "For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." So freedom is a lifestyle. It's not a one-day thing. We focus on it for one day. In most countries, we have a day of freedom, whatever, right? But it's a lifestyle. It's a way that we can live. And I like how he says here, Nelson Mandela, he knew about being in chains, right? He knew about being in bondage, being in prison. He knew all that. He paid a price for his ideas on freedom and people being free. And yet he's the one that comes back and say, freedom isn't just getting rid of the chains. I mean, we all want that to happen, but there are many other chains that can bind us in life as well, that can put us in prison as well. But I just want to say happy Freedom Day Eve to everyone who's listening. Thanks for joining us on this journey here.
Woo! Yeah, it's really good, man. So before we jump into the free for all,
it's a free for all, baby. Woohoo! You join the free for all.
I think our birthdays should have birthday eves as well, right?
Yes, they should.
Happy birthday eve.
Yes, they should.
So, Steve-O, for those who haven't met you before, please introduce yourself, and then I'll introduce myself, and we'll jump right into the free for all for today.
I am a messenger. I'm here to help. It's an acronym. I'm here to bring healing. I'm here to bring encouragement. I'm here to bring laughter, and I'm here to make you ponder. I'm here to help you find your happy, turn on your happy, and walk alongside you in your happy. I'm here to navigate, activate, and advocate your happy life. And we do a lot of that online through Happy Life Studios, because you can reach the world online. You really can, man. And so you can search Happy Life Studios anywhere. You have anywhere you like, just about anything. We're on there. You just see this little green guy there. Just go to you see that guy, you found Happy Life Studios. But we've been doing this podcast for 10 years now. We've been online for many years. So you'll find us if you search Happy Life Studios, or you can just go to happylife.studio, just like you can go to Mojo, MOJOE.studio, and find my man right here. Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am Joseph Mojo McCarthy. Call me Mojo. And I love that name because it takes my name, Joe, and adds a little mo to it. It's a little mojo, not just a little Joe, but Mojo. And mojo has lots of connotations, from a cup of coffee to getting that juice flowing inside of you, that motivation that gets you going. And I think that's what Steve-O and I bring to the table, is that we want, more than anything, not to be seen, not to be heard, but to share what we've learned with anybody and everybody who is looking for just a little juice, right? Just a little jump start. I like thinking we got these battery chargers, right? And we're like reaching out into the world and hit those chargers on, like jump start them, or maybe like one of those heart monitors. Turn it up to 10. Give them some juice, baby. Give them some mojo. So I'm a I don't know, playful polymath is one way I describe myself, because I used to be called a jack of all trades, master of none. I'm a Jack. I'm a Joe of all trades, master of several. I've got a podcast. I've got a blog. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I'm a musician. Now a published musician. So I've got music on Spotify, etc. But you can find all that at mojo.studio. But what I'm here right now is to share these moments with my brother Steve-O. And together, we are like a dry bartenders, and we want to invite you to come belly up to the bar. And
Yeah.
if you're a little depleted, a little kind of downtrodden, a little need a little juice, right?
Yep.
We got some happy juice, and we're going to pour it into your cup.
We're going to give you some digital courage, baby.
Digital courage,
Pouring you some digital courage.
not
Yep.
liquid courage, but digital courage.
No. Yep. Digital courage, liquid courage lasts for a little bit, right? And you might even pay a price for it the next day, but right? But digital courage, that's liquid courage, but digital courage is another thing. Digital courage can get inside you and last inside you. I mean, how many of our lives have been changed by one statement, by one quote, by one action that somebody did? That courage that just stayed in there, took root inside of us. And we didn't forget it the next day when the liquid encouragement was gone, right?
Right. And I love the fact that courage can be shared. I never really thought about this very much, but encouragement has the word courage built into it. It's actually taking the courage I have, however much that or however little that is, and saying, I have enough to share, rather than it being like, if I give my courage away, then I don't have any. It's an understanding that it's an abundance thing. As I give courage away, I'm receiving it in the act of giving, which is one of the mantras that we talk about, is that giving is living. And as whatever it is that I think I need, whatever it is I'm searching for, whether it's courage or love or light or whatever it is, it's how do I find it? I find it by it's in me, and I start to give it away, and then it multiplies. So we're going to talk about freedom, though, for the next 25 minutes or so.
Before we do, Joe, can I throw something in here?
Yeah,
and talk about your opportunity that you have. Don't you have an opportunity to speak, like in Florida right now, for a Warriors conference or something? You want to talk a little bit about that? And if you're up for it, maybe let us know how we can help in that endeavor.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, so I got invited by the head of this global organization to be a keynote speaker at the 3rd annual Global Warriors Conference.
Oh, cool.
And it's based in Florida. Now, I've been a part of their conferences in the past when they were virtual, because I could do it right here from home in California. And this one is an in-person conference, but it will be broadcast live around the world. So, but for me to get from California to Florida is going to cost some money, and I don't have any extra. So I'm inviting anybody and everybody who wants to participate. And actually, so here's the thought that I have. It's almost like being a missionary, Steve-O, is that whoever is able to contribute towards my GoFundMe for this project, for this speaking engagement, anybody and everybody who hears my voice when I speak, both in person and online, those that gave to get me there, they're a part of the impact on people's lives. So if you want to participate, if you want to be a part of me sharing, and just for those of you who don't know, I share the story of how I got molested when I was 15 by someone I trusted, who was a spiritual authority in my life. And it wreaked havoc on my life for many, many years, until I was able to find the courage to confront my own demons and bring them out into the light. And the healing has begun. It's not complete, but it has begun. And so as I share that story, it's so that others will be encouraged to say, hey, whatever secrets you got hiding in the shadows, bring them out into the light. As painful as that might seem, that's the only path to healing. So that's what I'm doing in Florida in September.
How can we be a part of that? How can we help you out? If we go to mojo.studio, do you have a link there, or?
Yeah, there's a GoFundMe, and let me copy the link and I'll stick it in the chat here, and I'll tell everybody what it is. It's pretty easy to remember. I think I put a special shortened version on that, and I can't find it at the moment. So go ahead and talk for a moment, Steve, while I search for that.
Well, and that's a pretty good deal. I mean, to be a part of, the lives that Joe, when he shares this story, it's a very powerful thing, and it helps a lot of people. And we talk about investment, talk about the stock market and all that type stuff. Boy, what greater stock than people? I mean, there's some things that are more important than money. The new F1 movie, dude, there's a line in there where the guy says it's not about money, and the guy says, well, what is it about? And he just kind of smiles, and it really is. It's about people. It's about people. And so to be a part of that, and to have Joe open up and say, hey, if you want to be a part of this, you certainly can. So any amount that is given him on the GoFundMe that he's going to put in the comment section there, you're investing in the people's lives that will change. In fact, I will say this. I'll say that, like right now, I'm doing this for you. It's because I have people that support me as well. And I'm a nonprofit organization, much like Joe called Missionaries. I'm much like that. I'm a nonprofit organization. Only I'm called to help people here in America as well as around the world, but I'm not sent to another country. There's plenty of people here that need help as well. So, Joe, that's a very courageous thing. And you even mentioned the courage that it took, and you mentioned courage. Mentioning courage, I want to throw something out there for our free for all. It's a
Yeah,
quote that I came across that I absolutely love, and it's on courage and freedom. How about the odds of that?
I love it. Perfect. Bring it on.
All right, well, here it is. It's from Thucydides, or Thucydides, I'm not sure, Thucydides. Okay, but here's a quote. The secret to happiness. So, Happy Life Studios, we are all about this quote, right? And we did a podcast that came out today for 4th of July, for Freedom Day. This Here's a quote. This is why we think Thucydides, whatever generation he was from, he must have been a happy lifer, right? I don't know how to spell his name or say his name, but anyway, here's a quote. The secret to happiness is freedom. And I think that is so true. That I won't go in front of that. Then he says, and the secret to freedom is courage. Joe, talk about that a second.
Yeah. Wow, that's so good. I'm typing it into the chat right now. The secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom
It's
is
courage.
courage. Wow. So, wow, how that ties into everything we talk about, Steve-O.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I don't know how to say his name either. I think he lives back in the time of Socrates or something like that. But let's break that down. The secret to happiness is freedom. Now, if you go back to even the founding of this country in the United States, there was a lot of unhappy people that thought that the taxes were too high and that there was a monarchy from another side of the
True.
world that was keeping their thumb screws really hard down on the people, telling them what they can't do and what they can do, as opposed to giving them the freedom to choose, right? And
Yeah.
so there was a revolution, a true revolution, where there was a war, right? And so the war, the Revolutionary War, was the price of freedom for a bunch of patriots who said, for me and for my family and for people that I will never meet from generations and generations, I don't want any of us to have to live under the tyranny of someone who doesn't let us be free, to live free. And it's that innate sense that all of us have the right to freedom, to liberty. Liberty is built into the Constitution and the
Right.
Bill of Rights. And so, how did they secure freedom? Well, they secured it through their courage, the courage to fight the tyranny. And this is not just the Revolutionary War, Steve-O, and I love to see where this goes, because this is true of all freedom, that we
Yep.
have to fight against the tyranny,
Yep.
whatever that is, and that takes courage. In fact, even if you could tie this right into the global conference thing that I'm talking about, I had to fight against all the shame and the remorse and the regret and the pain
Yep.
and all the stuff that was inside of me. I had to fight against that, and it took me 40 years, right, to bring it out of the light and battle that in the light to be free from the bondage that I was in internally.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. It's so true. That's what it takes. And I mean, I think that could be the definition of happy. You think about it. When you are free, when your spirit is free, when your soul is free, when your mind is free, when your heart is free, whatever you want to put in there, that's happiness, right? Happiness is when I am free. I'm no longer encumbered with all the other stuff. Now, with that being said, like Nelson Mandela said, it's more than just getting rid of your chains. Viktor Frankl, he's one of your favorite. I mean, you
Yes,
quote him a lot.
I
Viktor
love
Frankl was not just a Holocaust survivor, but he survived the death camps, the Nazi death camps. And while he was in the Nazi death camps, he talked about the choice. I have another quote from him, but Joe, give that quote first, because you know that quote, you use it quite a bit.
Yeah, well, Viktor Frankl, and if you've never read his book, Man's Search for Meaning, I think it's a must read for any human. And he talks about how the last of the great human freedoms, and remember, this is in the context of being confined in a death camp, which he was sure he would die, and all of his contemporaries were dying as well. Family, friends, loved one, comrades, they're all being exterminated on a daily basis. And he said the last of the great human freedoms is our freedom to choose our attitude in any given circumstance.
And didn't he give that out because they asked him, why are you always happy? He always had a good attitude. And how is it, he's had a good attitude and he's being abused and treated poorly. He's in a death camp. He could die any minute. His friends are dying around him left and right. And yet he said, that's the last freedom that I have. I'm not going to allow them to take that away from me. He also said this. So that's what I'm talking about. You can be in a very ugly place. At Happy Life Studios, we define happy different than a lot of people. A lot of people think to be happy means I get rid of the negative, I increase the positive, then I'm going to be happy. If I can get rid of the sadness and increase the happiness, then I'm going to be happy. But then your happiness is built upon circumstantial evidence. It's built upon circumstances, and circumstances, they just don't cooperate.
And
They
they change
just
all the time.
never
And they change all
cooperate.
the time. That's right.
They're always getting in the way of that. We say that a happy life is a lifestyle where you get and you keep happy no matter what the circumstances are. Viktor Frankl, you want to talk about happy and freedom again? Check out this other quote from Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor, Nazi camp survivor, death camp survivor, said this: between stimulus and response, there is a space. In other words, between what happens, between the circumstance that happens and my response to it, there's a space there. There's always a space there before I choose my response or my reaction sometimes. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Now, he says more here, but I want to point out the fact that it's our power, not somebody else's. When we say he makes me so mad, no, he doesn't.
Right.
She ticks me off. No, she doesn't. You allow yourself to get in that state. You allow yourself to be unfree. Now, what they're saying might not be fair. It might not be right. It might be rude. It might be stupid. I get all that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying despite their stupidity or whatever you want to call it, it's our choice, our power. In that space is our power to choose our response. And then he says, in our response lies our growth and our freedom. And he lived that out because he lived that out on a regular basis while he was being barely alive. And yet he continued to make the right choice. And I'm not saying that it's easy, but freedom can be accepted. Freedom can be achieved even when we're in chains, because freedom, it's like you say happiness is, it's an inside job. It's a mind shift. You call it a mind flow, where your mind flows. When you're free, you flow. We always talk about here, our happy self is our best self. Well, our free self, is our best self. Our free self is our happy self.
It's really good, really good. Happiness is not a mindset, it's a mind flow. Because mindset to me reminds me of concrete. I worked with a construction guy when I was little. When I was in high school and college, and they had this bag of stuff. You'd add water, and it would start to harden, and then it was called quickset. It was how you made cement. And I think mindset, quickset. I don't want my mind to get hardened and brittle. So I'm replacing mindset with mind flow, and I think happiness definitely is a mind flow because things are changing all the time. We're in an ever-changing world. Change is the only constant. It's the only thing we know for sure is that things will change. But I love what Viktor Frankl was getting at is that freedom isn't necessarily revolution from the tyranny of another country, although that is freedom as well. But it's also a very personal, highly personalized decision that I make that even when there is tyranny, the worst kind, I'm not going to give up my freedom to choose my attitude in spite of the circumstances, right? And as Steve said, is that easy? No. Does it take a lot of training? Yes. Does it take a lot of maturity? Yes. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it worth it? Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is. Because we all want to be free. We all want to be alive. We all want to be happy. Rich Mullins is an artist, a singer. He's putting some great stuff out there. But Rich Mullins said this. He said, we all want to be free. We all want to be fully human and fully alive. We all want to be fully loved, and we all want to be able to love other people. And I think those go hand in hand. We want to be free. We want to be alive. There's a lot of people in America that's a free country, and other free countries out there too. There's a lot of people in those countries that aren't free. They're living free in their country. They're free, but inside they're bound up. Today when I was doing my podcast, I saw this image of a chain just being wrapped around a human heart. It was just, there's so many things that want to bind us up and chain us up, and forces out there that want to do that. And then forces like to use people. And then we get ourselves, don't get me wrong. It happens to me quite a bit, but I'm learning how to not allow that. I'm learning to try to get the that spirit of Viktor Frankl in my system where I say, wait a minute, I've got a response here. How am I going to respond? I'm not going to respond according to how I feel. And that's not being hypocritical. It's just being wise. It's telling my feelings, you belong in the car with me, but you don't belong in the driver's seat. I'm
Yes.
driving here. I'm not going to let you control this thing, because when your feelings get control, they're fickle, man, and they can change that fast. But I mean, if we want to be free, then we need, and we want to be loved, then we have to love. And I think that's where freedom comes from. It comes from when we love people.
Wow. Well,
Because Joe, you even said it. I'm sorry. You even said it. You said the highest form. You said it in one of your posts just recently. The highest form of love is free of judgment, which produces true freedom. Agape love, you call it.
the
It
high,
produces true freedom.
right. The highest form of love is free of judgment. Why would I say that? Because I believe the highest form of love is unconditional love. Unconditional means there are no conditions, so there is no judgment. That means that whether I do the right thing or the wrong thing, whether I do the right thing for the right reasons, the right thing for the wrong reasons, or the wrong thing for the right reasons, it doesn't, none of that matters. Love is dot, dot, dot. Love is, period. And I believe in a God that is love. And so, whether you believe in God or not, just think of love itself. The highest form of love is unconditional love. There are
Oh,
no conditions. And that is where true freedom is found. Because most of the time, in most relationships that we're in, including me, I'm always at the wondering if I do the right thing or say the right thing or do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing, if it's going to affect negatively this relationship, which theoretically is a loving relationship. Well, if it does, if my actions, my thoughts, my feelings affect the love in the relationship, well, now it's conditional love because it's conditioned. It's based on my actions, my thoughts, my feelings. Well, that's not the highest form of love. I call it agape love because that's what I was taught. Agape is a divine level of love where there's nothing I can do or say that can cause God to love me any less. And there's nothing I can do or say that can cause God to love me any more. God is love, period. And I'm like, that's true freedom, right? Where I'm not always wondering if I'm going to lose the love of a friend, of a family member, or of the one that created me. And if I can't lose God's love, that's freedom, right?
right. 100%. And when somebody loves you, when you blow it, dude, it doesn't get much freer than that. I mean, that is a free spirit. I like what Eric Fromm said. Eric Fromm said, the affirmation of one's own life, happiness, growth, and freedom. Here's another happy and freedom and together because they're so closely related. They're like siblings. The affirmation of one's own life, happiness, growth, and freedom is rooted, get this, in one's capacity to love.
To love.
Wow. So if I
Wow.
want to be free, I need to learn to love. And if I want to be more free, then I want to work on my love even more. I want to work on, and I'm not just talking about a love. So I like that word you use, that word agape, because a lot of love is, I'm just going to love you for my own personal good,
Right.
right? There's a brotherly love that's called phileo. That's the Greek word for brotherly love. I love you like a brother, right?
Philadelphia, right?
There's an eros or an erotic love. That's a very selfish love. I love you, but it's really because I'm getting something in return.
Sure.
But true love, when you love without, because if I love you to get something in back, I mean, that smells a little bit like,
It's like
what's the word I'm
transaction
looking, manipulation to
or a
me.
transaction. Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
business.
right. And so, and that does happen.
Sure.
There's are those forms of love, but when you love just to love and not to expect anything in return, man, I want to work on that, because the more I work on that, the more I'm working on my freedom, the more I'm learning, the bigger capacity I have to learn to love people, the bigger capacity, the bigger my freedom gets.
Yeah. So we just got about 4 minutes left in this particular half hour before we join our live audience. Anybody who wants to join us can join us at chatmosa.com. We'll do another episode here in a few minutes. But Steve, in the last few minutes, as we tie this into Independence Day, which I think is kind of misnamed, I would prefer it to be called Interdependence Day. And we could talk about that in the next half
Oh,
hour.
I like that a lot.
Because Independence Day says I'm on my own and my freedom is mine. And I remember when we were a kid at camp, we learned this silly song. This land is my land. This land's not your land. I've got a shotgun and you don't got one. If you don't get off, I'll blow your head
Head
off.
off.
This land was made for only me. And as
Wow.
silly as that sounds, we kind of have a mentality like that in our country
Yeah.
sometimes, where people are
Yeah.
like, yeah, freedom means I can do whatever the F I want, whenever I want, even if it infringes on your freedom. And
Yeah.
that's not what my ancestors died for. I don't
Yeah.
know about you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. There was a quote said like a couple thousand years ago by the name of Paul, and it's in the book of Romans. It's in the Bible. It's in the last probably 7/8 of the Bible in the book called Romans, and he talks in there about if you say I'm free, I can do whatever I want, and then you use your freedom to destroy somebody else's freedom, you destroy freedom. Period. It's like
ooh,
Nelson Mandela said: freedom is loving other people. It's enhancing other people's freedom. And I would close my segment of this thing off with another quote from Hazel Scott. For those of you that are listening, I love what Hazel says here. They say, "Whoever walked behind somebody to freedom, if
mm,
we can't go hand in hand, I don't want to go." And I tell you what, there's a lot of hate out there. There's a lot of junk out there. But for those of you that are listening to this, whether you're listening to it live or you're listening to it post, that I want, I want to do this with you. I want to go hand in hand with you. If I'm going to be free and be by myself, I don't want that. I want freedom with you. I want to go hand in hand with you. That's why we advocate a happy life. An advocate walks along somebody, and that's really why Happy Life Studios. It's one of the three reasons we exist: to help you find it, to help you turn it on, and to walk alongside you. We want to do this with you, and there's people in your life that need you. Your happy you is your best you. Your free you, therefore, is your best you. So be you and go enhance somebody else's freedom.
that's right. Yeah. Because it's a free for all.
Oh,
It's a free
baby.
for all, baby. That's what it's a free for
If
all.
it's just free for one, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It can't be free for one. It's free for all of us.
Free for all of us, right? All right, welcome. Welcome. We just at the very end
Free
here.
for all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. Welcome and well, not welcome, but thank you for joining us for this happy half hour. We will start again in just a few minutes. We're going to exit this particular broadcast not on TikTok but on Chatmosa, and we'll join us again at chatmosa.com, and we'll have another free for all.
Free for all.
Peace out, Steve-O, and
Wow. Peace in.
peace in. Woo!